What's up, Nerdvengers? I'm excited to be here. You'll notice we're missing Josh, I know. But luckily my scroll invasion has worked and I'm back. I'm so excited to be here. We're going to be talking about some pretty exciting news today. I want to talk about the Loki premiere, what we're looking for in that, and some news that has come out for that. Some news about What If in a Black Widow episode. But first, I want to get into some news about She-Hulk. And before we get into that, I have some show notes. I know, I'm super excited. Hopefully I remember everything. But I want to remind you guys that tonight, 2 p.m., I guess not the night, but the afternoon, there is a Prime stream. So if you're a Prime member level of the Nerdvengers, you're going to want to get on that Prime stream. We're going to talk about some cool things about the business. Josh will be here for that. And then also tomorrow, we're going to be having a fancy Diamond Lounge members stream. So Josh is going to get all fancy for that, get dressed up. He's going to have some champagne. And he's going to discuss some exciting ideas that we're taking forward with the Diamond Lounge members. And then also, they don't even know they're getting shouted out, but I just want to let you all know, I heard a little rumor from a little bird that we're getting a Lady Main Discord stage over from some of our Lady Vengers. We got Whitney, Abby, and Nikki, and Moss, and Felicity, I believe, and they're going to be on the Main Gang Discord server Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about Star Wars Bad Batch, and also, I believe, the Loki premiere. So, if you guys have been some of the people just excited to hear from some of the Lady Vengers, you're going to want to get on that. You're going to want to go chime in. So, just wanted to give them a little plug. And now I want to get into this crazy article talking about She-Hulk. So, let's pull up this article. I want to read for you guys. We have some brand new news saying She-Hulk set photos tease Mark Ruffalo's return as Smart Hulk. This is coming from Screen Rant. It's by Cooper Hood. And it says set photos from Marvel's upcoming She-Hulk Disney Plus show tease Mark Ruffalo's return as Smart Hulk after appearing in Avengers Endgame. So, if you guys didn't catch it yesterday, there were some set photos that came out teasing Mark Ruffalo's return in She-Hulk. So it says set photos from She-Hulk tease Mark Ruffalo's return as Smart Hulk. It has been over a decade since Marvel Studios produced a solo movie for the Green Giant due to movie rights issued with Universal. But Disney Plus has given them a new avenue to explore everything Hulk related. Now, I do want to just stop here and pause because there was some news that came out yesterday that implied that we might be getting the Incredible Hulk on Disney Plus. So there's these like rumors that maybe Marvel actually has the rights to Hulk back. So it will be interesting to see if that's true, and if so, where it goes. What's gonna happen with that? Because, I mean, if I'm being honest, The Incredible Hulk was not my favorite Marvel movie. It didn't hit home for me. So let's keep going though. We have, since Hulk has been a major supporting character in previous Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, though, it will be Bruce Banner's cousin, Jennifer Walters, who takes the focus and leads She-Hulk, which we know. So it just kind of goes about how the show is going to feature Tatiana Maslany as the lawyer, as She-Hulk, and that Bruce's blood is going to be used to save her life, like in the comics, through a blood transfusion. But if you look at these set photos that came out, here we have, you guys can see, we have this picture of, I believe her name is, oh goodness, Anais Almonte. I really hope I didn't butcher her name. But here she is with Mark Ruffalo, and you'll notice the suit that he's wearing. And one of the things about this suit that people have noticed is this is the same suit that was used for Professor Hulk in Endgame. So, this is kind of what this article goes on to talk about, how we might see the return of Professor Hulk. And I know there was some mixed feelings about Professor Hulk, so I want to talk about that a little bit. But we do know that, this is going to be possibly the return of Professor Hulk within the series, within She-Hulk. So, one of the things I find interesting about this is the fact that Professor Hulk was a little bit not widely accepted as amazing. I know a lot of people, especially before the movie came out, were just not feeling it. And I think it will be interesting to see the return for sure. I just want to say that I personally loved Professor Hulk, but I also personally loved Savage Hulk. And so I think what we see is this huge contrast, right? Where we go from, in Thor Ragnarok, where Hulk was just savage all the time and he couldn't get back to Bruce Banner. It was difficult to get him back from being the savage Hulk that he was and just being completely Hulk all the time. And then we get Infinity War, where Hulk has been beaten by Thanos and Hulk is afraid to come out. So that's like a completely different side of Hulk, right? And then we get to Endgame and see this other completely different side of Hulk where he's kind of fused himself together and he's able to be both Hulk and Banner at the same time, and we get Professor Hulk. Now, one of the things that people didn't like about this is the fact that Hulk is like this savage character, and so it didn't sit right with a lot of people to see this like beast of a character become this goofy doctor, scientist, professor who basically like looked down on the old Hulk. I mean, if you look at his scene when they go back in time, he's kind of just feeling like, yeah, that was the old me. He was kind of stupid. I don't know about that guy, So it's kind of an interesting thing to see that we might get back. And I think what's going to be interesting is I would be okay with it, but I would love to see more development for his character. I know She-Hulk is going to be focusing mainly on Jennifer Walters, but what I would also love to see is if they presented Bruce Banner with some sort of threat where he realizes that he has to be able to be Professor Hulk, but he also has to have moments where he's a strong fighter and savage out there, and presenting some sort of threat like that, then I think it could be a good way of balancing his character out, kind of bringing all of these amazing versions of the character that Mark Ruffalo has already built as an actor and just fusing them into a well-balanced Hulk that can still be Bruce Banner, but is also able to fight well and really just go crazy when he needs to. So I think that will be interesting. I think I want to see what you guys think, though. Give me a 1 in the chat if you think this is a good idea, or a 2 in the chat if you just want to see Professor Hulk gone forever. I want to know what you guys think. Oh, man. A lot of 2s. A lot of people done with Professor Hulk. Yeah. Okay. This is interesting. I mean, it's possible. When I was talking to Josh about this the other day, it's possible that some technological advances were just made and they're able to create the standard Hulk suit from the one that they used for Professor Hulk. So there's also the chance of that, but it looks like a lot of people just not down with this. So this will be interesting. This will be interesting to see how fans react to the show itself. Nikki says they ruined Hulk for me. Oh no. I think one thing that I do want to say is if they're going to continue, if they don't balance his character out and we just get, Smart Hulk all the way, Professor Hulk for life. One thing they do need to do is they really, really, really need to focus on getting someone like Red Hulk, getting someone like maybe a more savage She-Hulk, getting someone like Abomination back to kind of, amp things up. I think that would be fun, and that would allow us to have fun with Professor Hulk and still get the savagery that we want. I know I saw someone worried about spoiling Bad Batch. I promise, like, this is a no spoiler stream. I'm probably not even going to touch Bad Batch today. So, don't worry about that. Stay nice in the chat. Be friends. Someone says, Fat Thor is not going to be permanent. Why would Professor Hulk be permanent? And that's a good point. You know, that was another character that a lot of people were just not down with. I'm going to get canceled for this, but I actually did like Fat Thor's character. I thought he looked ridiculous, but I think that handling some of his trauma was handled in a very realistic way of, you know, he really just didn't know how to handle it. And so the only way that he knew how to do that was to disengage from this past heroic life and kind of go into this mode of drinking and eating and gaming and just focusing on whatever was, you know, right in that moment for him. Fat Thor is my existence, says Mas. Yes. I think it was also just fun to get a silly character. I think there's something to say with that. But it definitely, yeah, Thor lost everything. Yes. It definitely was realistic. I think it was a great way to bring some of that up in a way that just made sense for Thor. Because, I mean, Thor's not going to be the first person to just, you know, open up, go into therapy, and want, you know, to handle his problems. He's going to want to try and fix it himself. So, I think there's something to be said for that. And there's something to be said for Professor Hulk, I think, in the same way. You know, we're getting a character that has really struggled with wanting to, you know, be strong and be the hero as Hulk, but also being the side of the character where he realizes, like, Hulk goes out of control and Hulk hurts people and causes damage, and wanting to kind of, you know, be himself again. And I think we see that just in the conversation where he says, you know, at first I looked at him as a disease. Like, it was real. He was trying to get rid of it. So I think it will be interesting to see if they continue with that. Okay, I want to get into this article coming from the Illuminati. Let's get into this. It's about What If and Black Widow. I know the news about Black Widow has been popping off or not Black Widow. The news about What If has been popping off. And I'm super excited for the show. I know a lot of you are getting hyped too. So some news came up about a Tony Stark episode. I looked back through the trailer and we did see a shot of Tony Stark, the classic Tony Stark eating donuts in the middle of a donut hole up on that sign. So I did see that. But now we're talking about there's the What If story reveal for Black Widow's post-apocalyptic episode exclusive. So this is an exclusive coming from the Illuminati. Wow. Posted by Richard Nebens. I'm going to skip ahead a little here, where it talks about post-apocalyptic Black Widow stars in What If. This stuff is crazy. Let's get into it. So, in the article here, it says, our sources have told us that part of Marvel Studios' What If will focus on Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff, who finds herself in a dire situation in this new universe. The story will show Black Widow as one of the only survivors of a cataclysmic event that came about due to the classic MCU villain Ultron. So I know in Wednesday's stream or Tuesday's stream, Lavis and Al talked a lot about getting an Ultron who maybe even had the ring. So I think this will be interesting to see what they do with it. But it says Romanoff will also sport a new costume in the show to adjust to the times she's in. While it's similar to her past MCU outfits, her garb in What If will come with shorter sleeves and metal plating over her top, likely adjusting to her new, darker surroundings. So a little bit more armored. The way our last What If exclusive could be categorized as What If Thor's first movie never happened, we speculate that this episode could possibly be looked at as asking the question, what if Ultron was victorious in Avengers Age of Ultron? Now, we saw through Vision what that would look like, and a lot of that was, most of the world being decimated, being completely destroyed, and a lot of that life that was in it dying. Avengers Age of Ultron ended with Earth's mightiest heroes destroying the city of Sokovia after Ultron had turned it into a kind of asteroid he would pummel the Earth and kill countless people. While it's unclear from this leak what the cataclysmic event is specifically in this episode, Natasha Romanoff appears ready for a literal world of trouble ahead of her. So I think it would be safe to say that if we do know in this leak it's caused by Ultron and it's this cataclysmic event, it's probably going to focus on that storyline with Sokovia. I mean, I don't know what else we could see unless it is, like I know Lavis and Al talked about, something to the effect of getting Ultron getting a hold of more than one Infinity Stone. I think that could be interesting. But I do think it could even be, what if Vision never killed Ultron? What if he let him live and then he created this, new issue? But I think more likely it is going to be that we're going to see Ultron succeed and maybe the Earth's mightiest heroes don't win that battle. I think it will be good to see what happens. And then also, at what point did he win and at what point did he drop it? Because I know his goal was to, drop the city of Sokovia so that all of Earth's population would be decimated. So that would at least tell me if Black Widow survived, and we know Black Widow was fighting against Ultron, that, maybe these people got off the helicarrier and it's those people that survive and then go on to battle Ultron in another world or in another universe or timeline of sorts. So I think it will be interesting to see. It will definitely be interesting to see what they do with it. And I think the show, What If, in general, looks like it's shaping up to be a really good show. I think it's a series that a lot of people maybe slept on at first, that not a lot of people really considered as one of their most hyped up shows to watch. But it's definitely shaping up to be something good. We're going to see, we know Party Thor. We're going to see Peggy as Captain America. We know we're going to see zombie Captain America fighting Bucky at one point. It's going to feature what if T'Challa was picked up by Yondu and he became Star-Lord. We know that there's this crazy scene in the trailer where Doctor Strange is fighting like an evil version of himself. And then I also know we got the Watcher coming into the show as well and being a big part, which the writers and the actor playing the Watcher has said is kind of like the Twilight Zone narrator. So I think that will be really interesting for sure. So I know I'm getting really, really hype for What If. I hope you guys are looking forward to it too. Marvel Zombies in the What If, then I'll be cool. Yes. Yeah, so if it's a good episode, as long as they don't hit us with any crazy boners, then we'll be fine. I think as long as, we get that, as Lavis would love to say, multiversal implications through that show, I think it could be great. All right. I'm going to go through, I don't know why I even left the theater, because I do want to go through Marvel Studios spoilers with you and look at some of this news. So let's switch back here. So this is the Marvel Studios spoilers Reddit. We got some news here. Ooh, this just 31 minutes ago got posted. Here's a piece of official art from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, given as a gift for the cast and crew. And this from Twitter. We see in this, oh goodness. Let's give this a look. Let's give this a look, shall we? Happy Friday. This coming from Adam Kahn. If this is wrong, don't yell at me, okay? blame Adam. Or blame Josh. Blame anyone. Just don't yell at me. This says, Marvel Studios presents. Let's make sure you can see this. Yes. Marvel Studios presents Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So, let's see. We got Doctor Strange here. I know there was a lot of speculation about getting an upgrade to his suit. So, I mean, from what I can see, this appears to be pretty on par with what we've already seen. From the cloak and from his, we can see a little bit of a design. It appears to be more blue to me. Maybe I'm crazy and just looking too into it, but it does appear to be more blue. We have, who I'm assuming is Wong up here fighting. And we have Elizabeth Olsen's character of Scarlet Witch, who, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but appears to be semi-evil. I mean, she doesn't look like she has the best of intentions. Let me know if you agree in the chat. Maybe I'm just looking too far into this, but I mean, I wouldn't trust this. Yeah, puppet master like. Very true, very true. It's almost like she's like standing there, like controlling whatever is going on, like an evil puppet master for sure. Then we also have America Chavez, who we know, I think the Illuminati did that exclusive that talked about how she was going to be important in the show. And then behind them is this star portal that that she travels through in some of the earlier comics that, some of the newer comics, the more recent comics. She has this star portal power that allows her to travel through universes, through the multiverse. And we also see her in this ready to fight pose. So, I mean, I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be a good movie. I'm a little concerned that they're overhyping it. Maybe that's just the fear that comes from WandaVision. But another thing to note, we see Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch. Star Portal, low-key confirmed. Yes. Low-key confirmed. Also, we see her in her costume, her Scarlet Witch costume from WandaVision. So that's kind of interesting. She's got the headpiece. The headpiece that Joss Whedon told her she would never have to wear. So, this is pretty interesting. Let's go back to the Reddit. Also, I'm not Josh. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about / not talk about. So, if I get into anything too crazy, blame Josh for giving a scroll power. I mean, what do you expect? We have, this was interesting. I actually did read this article coming from comicbook.com. Talking about Emilia Clarke. We know she was confirmed to be in the Disney Plus, series of Secret Invasion coming up. I will get into this because I think this is such an interesting contrast between her and Emily Blunt. So, the title of this, coming from comicbook.com, Marvel's Secret Invasion, Emilia Clarke reveals real reason she joined Disney Plus series exclusive. Now, this title is clickbait if I ever did see clickbait. It makes you think like she's in it for the money or the power or something. But what it does get into is how she, her role is yet to be announced. We don't know who she's playing. But she did give some comments about why she's so excited to be in the show. And part of that is because she is making a mini-series right now called MOM, Mother of Madness. And this is her first, comic book superhero type project. And so she's kind of been getting into that mindset, the, superhero mindset through the series, which she was one of the writers for that series. And I think it's going to be interesting. So I just want you to think about the past comments we've seen from Emily Blunt versus what Emilia Clarke is saying about the genre and about working with Marvel and in a superhero franchise. Because what we saw from Emily Blunt was nah, man, I'm not interested, and I think that genre is oversaturated and it leaves me feeling cold. And so, when you see an actress respond like that, you just don't want to see them in a Marvel project, because you really just want to see actors who care about their characters, who care about treating their characters with authenticity and care. And so I just want to get into this. So this is her comment. She says, "I just think what they're doing right now is so exciting and so cool and so on the cutting edge of it. I feel like they're the Apple of this world," Clarke explained. "To be part of that family feels like, oh my gosh, I'm in the cool kid crowd. That's so cool. Honestly speaking, the people that are making this are what pushed me over the line to really wanting to do it. I just think that everyone's hearts and heads are in the right place with this one." So she makes these comments where she's really excited to be a part of this, and she does give this kind of look into how the people that are making the show are really what's kind of driving her to do it, and the care that they have for these characters. So I think we don't know a lot about her character yet, but she's definitely someone I'd love to see in the franchise, and we're gonna get her in the franchise. And just the contrast between someone who actually cares about being in Marvel and doing this is just crazy to me when you put it up against Emily Blunt's. So, I mean, we need more Emilia Clarkes who are getting excited about their characters and getting excited about just everything in general that they're going to get to be a part of, and the crazy projects that they're going to get to be a part of. We have Doctor Strange 2 was rewritten from scratch last year by Sam Raimi and Michael Waldron. Josh got into that on the Nerdy News Rundown. He went into a very long, I believe, Variety article talking about how Michael Waldron has been working on not one, but two things for Kevin Feige, or three things for Kevin Feige. He's been working on Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. He's been working on the Star Wars movie, and then I'm blanking on the third one. He's been working on Loki, I believe. I could be going crazy. I don't know. But there's that. So someone says, "Is this Josh?" Yes. This is definitely Josh. For sure. 100%. Yeah. I think it will be interesting. I think it will be really interesting to see what he does. He's been working on a lot of projects, and to me that means he's good at what he does if they keep bringing him back. So to see a good writer on things like Loki, which I'm getting so hyped for, I'm getting so excited for. I have some crazy predictions for, and then to see him get excited for Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, it makes me think okay, this is going to be good. And then we also read that he's going to be writing the Kevin Feige Star Wars movie. I think that will be crazy. I think it's going to be great. And I know Star Wars is doing some crazy things right now with Bad Batch and with just kind of pulling their franchise together, giving Dave Filoni a more, creative director type role. It's definitely going to be good for the Star Wars fans. I think you should be looking out for that, because if he's getting invited to do all these Marvel projects, then I'm guaranteeing you that there's a reason for that, and that he's definitely good. It looks like we have some mixed reactions in the chat. Josh keeping the expectations realistic today. I'm going to say I'm a little scarred. I'm a little scarred from WandaVision, I'm not going to lie. And Falcon Winter Soldier. Not going to lie. It's a little bit scary to think that we're definitely going to need to set some expectations for Loki. But, I mean, for Loki, I'm just expecting that everything's going to be great. We've heard nothing but amazing things coming from that show. I want to get into some of these super chats and then get into, when in doubt, blame Josh for sure. Get into the chat as well. I'm seeing some questions that is going to take me a long time to rant about to answer. So let's get into Q&A. If you would like to support the channel through giving a super chat, feel free to do so. But if you're not able to, you don't have any loot, don't worry, we understand. I'll try and get into the chat as well. But if you want a guarantee that your question will be answered, then pop it in the super chats. All right. I'm going to try and refresh this. Make sure we're make sure we're good. We're getting these super chats for real. We're going to try. I know Josh always has issues with these, so we're definitely going to try and not have any issues with super chats today. All right. It looks like the first super chat is from David Jimenez. A $5 holler, thank you very much. Saying, getting the SC going at 3:30 a.m. Central Time. I know I won't be awake to hear it. To be read. Oh, super chat. Oh, okay. I understand now. Yeah, because it was posted yesterday. I'm assuming this is coming from yesterday when Josh scheduled this stream. I'm sorry you're not awake to hear it read. We got another $5 holler from Dorian Trestle. Thank you for your support. He says, She-Hulk sounds like a passing of the torch mantle of Hulk. Yes, it does. I want to just touch on this because I feel like Marvel is setting up this crazy, like, passing of the torch in a lot of different characters. We see, with Black Widow, her sister. I'm blanking on the name. I think it's like Elena. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Please let me know. But, yeah, we're seeing the passing of the torch in a lot of different ways. We're seeing it with Hulk and She-Hulk with, goodness, why can I not remember anyone's names today? And we're also seeing it with Hawkeye in his series. We know there's going to be a few characters there. We're seeing Peter Parker. We saw him kind of take the mantle of Iron Man in Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm assuming they're going to touch on that more in Spider-Man No Way Home in some capacity. And then we also saw, through Falcon the Winter Soldier, we saw Sam Wilson take on the mantle of Captain America, of Steve Rogers. And so we're seeing like all of these kind of, major player Avengers kind of pass on their legacy to someone. And I think this is something that Marvel has to do and needs to do. We've seen characters, throughout the comics, this is something that happens as well. The Avengers pass on their legacy to someone else. In some way, we do see Tony Stark even pass some of his legacy off to Rhodey with his suit as War Machine, but also to Ironheart, which we know we're going to get in the future of MCU projects. We're going to see Ironheart, and then I believe also Echo, who I'm not sure who she'll be connected to yet, if I'm being quite honest. But we are seeing all of these characters kind of be passed the torch, and this is something that really just, makes us come to terms with the fact that actors they need a break, and they're not going to be around forever. They're not going to be around to play these different roles forever. Chris Evans, he worked on Captain America for a long time, and he needed that break. He needed to be able to let that character go and pass it on to someone else. And that's been amazing with handing it over to Anthony Mackie. And I think we're going to see a lot of that from some of the other characters. I think from Paul Rudd, we'll see, Ant-Man and the Wasp. They might pass on their legacy to someone, or even just start to train a protege in Quantumania and realizing, they can't do everything. They're not, they need that help. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how Kevin Feige and the team really explores that, because I think they have to pass on the legacy at some point, and I think it'll be interesting to see exactly how they do that with these different characters. According to the Sokovian, thank you for your $2 holla, says, good morning, Elisa. I really related to Fat Thor. Fat Thor was great. I think he was very silly. He looked kind of ridiculous, but I really loved how they touched on his trauma and kept him light, though, kept him, kind of like the comedic relief of Endgame. He had his really serious moments, but he also had his hilarious moments. We got that classic humorous Thor. So I'm glad you were able to relate to that. Moss Moss says, thank you so much for the Lady Main shout out. I know I'm super excited. Yes, so if you guys didn't catch the beginning of the stream, I'm just going to shout them out again. Y'all are not ready for this, but we have a Lady Main Discord stage going on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. It's going to have some of our greatest Lady Avengers. We got Moss Moss on there. We got Nikki. We got Whitney going to be sharing on there. Abby. And also Felicity. It's going to be great. It's going to be a fun time. They're going to touch on some great things. They're going to touch on Bad Batch and what they expect to see from the Loki premiere. It's going to be, you're going to want to be there. That's all I'm saying. These Lady Avengers, they know what they're talking about. They got some hot takes. And all you got to do to get on there is join the Main Gang Discord server to be a part of that and listen in. So I'm really excited. I'm definitely going to be tuning into that. So can't wait to see what they do with it. All right, we got a $2 holler, another one coming from according to the Sokovian, saying, and Fat Thor getting past his trauma was reflective for me. That's interesting. So I think I do want to mention this because it's reflective. The way that they handled Thor's trauma was so realistic and so, like, I could just see, like, having walked with and seen Thor's character develop throughout the different Marvel projects he's been involved with, that trauma process just seemed very real and very earned. Now, Wanda, on the other hand, the way they handled that trauma process was amazing in episode 8. I really did enjoy episode 8. I'll give it that. And the way that they walked through her past and kind of forced her to face this reality of what went on. But I think that it didn't feel as realistic for me. And that's one of the biggest problems I have with WandaVision, is it just didn't seem as realistic. And we've seen that they know how to handle trauma well. We've seen it come from Thor. We've seen it come from other characters as well. You know, we saw Tony really struggle with the trauma that he faced after New York and having to come to terms with the fact that there was a universe bigger than him that he couldn't just fight, you know, by himself, all alone. He couldn't just put a plate of armor around Earth anymore. That wasn't going to work. And so I think it's going to be interesting to see how they handle some of this stuff in the future, because if I'm being honest, that's really where WandaVision kind of disappointed me in, you know, simple words. It's just the fact that it didn't seem as earned and it didn't seem as realistic to me. So we have a $5 holler coming from the notorious BFG saying Professor Hulk is a little weird, but I love Ruffalo and think we need him in the MCU. I can get down with that. Also, simp responsibly in the morning, people. Josh Lurkin. Yes, always simp responsibly, whether it be morning or afternoon or evening. Whenever you do simp, please simp responsibly. Also gamble responsibly. I've seen a lot of people losing their money this morning. Please gamble responsibly as well. But yes, thank you. Yes, Josh do be lurking. Professor Hulk. I mean, I really enjoyed Professor Hulk. Maybe that's just because I loved Ruffalo's portrayal of the character. And I didn't really care for the original Incredible Hulk actor's portrayal of the character. I cannot even remember his name. It's okay, though. It's okay. Enrique Robles says, 199. What if Ralph Boner is Quicksilver in What If? I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm gonna be real honest. I don't know about that. I mean, it's a great idea if I don't know. Honestly, I think they just need to leave that character alone. Either they need to make him, you know, in a bigger project, you know, I wouldn't say What If is the place to handle that, if I'm being quite honest. I think to correct that, they really need to, like, just have his character show up in another project and be like, "Hey, what's up? You thought I was just Ralph Boner? Yeah. Turns out I'm actually Mephisto." That's the only thing that could correct it now. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. We got a $5 holler from Shiloh Loren. Oh my goodness. Lorianti. I apologize for butchering that. I'm loving the What If already, and it hasn't even started. You're crushing it, Elisa. P.S. Take my money. Yeah, me too. I'm loving What If. I'm getting excited for that. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's going to have a lot of crazy implications, I think, and it's going to explore some of the things that maybe we had hoped to see with some of these other Marvel series. WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier. Just saying. So I think it's going to really blow us away. I think it's going to exceed expectations, dare I say. Dare I say it's going to exceed the hype that we already have and really get us excited for the future of the MCU in general. So, yeah, I think it's going to be great. Renee Ramon says, David Hasselhoff as alt Nick Fury or bust. No comment. I'm not too sure about that, Renee. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about David Hasselhoff. I think if they hadn't mentioned him as David, like, called him by name in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when Peter was talking about who he pretended his father was, I think it'd be great. But I think because they've already established that as like a real world person, it'd just be weird to see him as Nick Fury. For me personally. I mean, let me know if you guys think differently in the chat. Let me know if this is something you want to see, because it's just personally I'm just not feeling it, you know? I'm not there. I'm not there. All right. Abby says, thank you for your $5 holla, miss. Love seeing my scroll queen first thing in the morning. What are your predictions for Loki? All right, I want to get into this. You knew exactly what I wanted to be asked this morning, Abby, because I have some crazy predictions for Loki. And I know as we head into these watch parties for Loki, we're also going to get to see what you guys think is going to happen. Maybe have some nerd coin bets going down if we can get that figured out. So I don't want to get you guys too excited for this, but I'm really excited for this. So if I get disappointed, y'all are going to have to get disappointed with me. I mean, I'm just really excited to see. I know the writer, one of the things that they had mentioned in coming up with this series is that each episode is going to feel a little different. Each episode is going to be based on or inspired by something different. And so we might get an episode that looks like the Twilight Zone. We might get an episode that looks like something completely different. So one of the things I'm really looking forward to is seeing how that, you know, the multiverse and these different timelines are kind of explored through the lens of different, you know, media projects or pieces of film, that's the word I'm looking for, that we're already familiar with, and seeing how they kind of utilize that to create this crazy multiversal, multi-time-versal, is that a word? It's a word now. Multi-timeline story. And just seeing how that's kind of explored through Loki. I think it's also going to be great in just seeing Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston's dynamic. I personally think it would be really cool. I think, you know, the TVA could be maybe not that great, and they needed someone shady like old Loki to kind of do their bidding and not ask too many questions. I think it's going to end up being something that we see. The TVA is not necessarily the best people in the world. They're going to do what's necessary to keep the sacred timeline, and maybe they, you know, do a couple shady things to make sure that happens. Maybe, you know, they have to cross a few lines. They need Loki to do a couple things that we wouldn't like to see him do. But yeah, I just do not trust the TVA, if I'm being quite honest. And in terms of Kang the Conqueror, or Kang in general, I think, I'm going to be real honest, I don't think we're going to see him. I think we're going to see, if anything, see him appear in a post-credit or a mid-credit scene, or we'll see him mentioned in it. But I don't think, I mean, if I'm being really, really honest, I don't think we're going to see him show up in the series much, other than maybe a brief mention, or maybe, you know, his girl, you know, going to see him at the very end in a post-credit scene. But I just don't see it happening outside of that. I know that would make a lot of people disappointed. I wish I felt otherwise, but I just don't. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. Man. We have... Yeah, so that's my predictions for Loki. Let me know. Let's get a feel for this. I wasn't going to do this, but I want to get a feel for this in the chat. If you expect to see King the Conqueror show up in the series, like as a part of the series as a whole, like in an episode, and like be a part of the villain of this series, put a 1 in the chat. So let's just say you're on Josh's side and you believe this, okay? If you believe we might see him in only a post-credit or a mid-credit scene and you're on my side, put a 2 in the chat. I want to see how many of you, like, where you guys are at with this. Because, I mean, I'm still kind of a normie. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe we don't know about what's going on. All right. Who's Josh? Might just get a name. I think that's possible. We got a lot of 2s. Ooh! Don't make a mom and dad fight. I mean, I don't think this is a fight. I think it's just 2 differing opinions about what we expect to see in the series. All right, we got some 1s. Best bet is go with the opposite of what Josh predicts. That's savage. That is completely savage. All right, hang on. Let me... Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. I just don't see it. Josh says I'm banning everyone. Y'all better watch out. Yeah, I just don't expect it. But I mean, in the end, if we don't see him, you know who's not gonna be disappointed? Me. And you know who will be? Some of the people that are expecting it. And if he does show up, you know who's going to be super excited? Me. Because I wasn't expecting it. Talk about setting your expectations well. Baby Yoda's escape pod says I love Josh. There you go. You got someone on your side, don't worry. This is not completely a scroll takeover yet. We have a few stragglers we need to get to step in line. Got some Josh rage in the chat. Okay, getting back into this. We got a $5 holler from According to the Sokovian says, Elisa, can we talk about watch the trailer for a new Hugh Jackman movie, Reminiscence? I'm hype and would like to see this prove Jackman can still be Wolverine. Well, according to the Sokovian, well, Krim, as the people call you. I don't know about this movie at all, actually. And also, I'm going to say no to watching the trailer because my technological capabilities are about a level 2 out of level 10. So, I just, I don't know if I could really do that. But, it's not because I don't want to. It's just because I just don't think I could do that and not like completely derail the stream and have Streamlabs blow up in smoke and have the chat like completely disappear. So I apologize for that. But Reminiscence, I will tell Josh about it. I know he's watching and I'm sure he would love to talk about that. And also why it could prove Jackman can still be Wolverine. Because it will be interesting. I think Logan was pretty final with that. I did just recently watch Logan not too long ago. And I mean, I really liked with how they ended his character arc and kind of talking about passing on legacies, passing on the legacy to his little girl. So, I mean, I don't even know if I want to see him be Wolverine unless it's maybe flashbacks, seeing him battle with old Captain America in something, or seeing him in like a different universe. That could be fun, but I really like where they left his character and I just don't want them to ruin that. We got a $2 holler from Emojo. Oh, goodness. Asking Elisa, what did you think about the red wedding? So, man, I cried. It hit me. I was so in shock. I just sat there watching the screen. Oh, I sorry, I just hit that. Watching the screen with my mouth wide open, like in shock and crying my eyes out as I don't know, like that, like the whole monologue that Catelyn Stark gives too. I was just like in tears, dying. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. I was even warned that the episode was going to be crazy, and I just was in shock. It was kind of like the moment when they, spoilers, just so you know, for, yeah, spoilers. So just watch out if you haven't seen Game of Thrones up to season 3, when they like chop Jaime Lannister's hand off. I was like so in shock over that moment. It was the greatest thing ever. But this one was sad. I like cried my eyes out watching that. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. I didn't want to. And they just kill. I know. Every time someone starts being happy, every time I start to like a character, they just kill them off. So I should have expected it, really. I should have expected it, okay? All right, we got a... Oh, goodness, I lost my place. Enrique Robles with another $2 holler saying, Elisa excited for Secret Invasion scroll confirmed. I mean, I thought I confirmed that a while ago, but yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm excited to see Nick Fury again. So, we haven't seen his character in a long time, and I miss him. Okay, I just want some Nick Fury. I just want some pure, wholesome Nick Fury content that I can sit down and enjoy and see these new actors and actresses take their roles seriously and overanalyze everything that happens in that series and the implications for the MCU forever and always. That's all I ask for, okay? We got a $5 holler from Sheev the Wise. Says, I'm gonna chill on supers because I might need coffee money. How are you feeling about Avengers Campus, and when are you dragging Josh to Cali? We actually just talked about this morning. But yes, get your coffee. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Sheep. Get your coffee. It's important. I had my 2 cups this morning. It was great. I'm feeling excited. Way too hype about Avengers Campus. So, one thing you should know about me, and you guys can cancel me forever for this, is I've actually never been to Disneyland or Disney World. So, I was supposed to go in the summer, in July, mid-July of 2020. And wouldn't that just be my luck that the year that I bought my tickets, I reserved a hotel. I was ready to go. I was going on this huge road trip with a bunch of my best friends, and I was going to drive to California to go visit the most magical place on earth for the first time, to have a magical experience that I had never gotten to experience forever. And it just so happened that the Pandy had other ideas, and I was heartbroken, okay? So I still have my ticket to go to Disneyland. I am kind of glad that the Pandy threw my schedule off, because to be honest, if I had gone to Disneyland and experienced the magic that is Disney and all of the different experiences there, and then later found out that if I had just waited a year, I could have gone to the Avengers Campus and now I have to pay even more money to go experience even more magic, I would have been pretty upset. So, I mean, I'm not too mad about it. I'm definitely wanting to go soon. I think they got some cool interactive experiences. I know they have a Doctor Strange kind of like magic show. They've got a Peter Parker kind of like acrobatic show, and then you can take pictures with him. I know, there's all the characters you can take pictures with. Also, the Web Slingers ride looks amazing, and the fact that they have like extra merch that you can buy that's also interactive with the ride there is like incredible to me. Like, that's just insane, and it gives you extra powers in the ride and different like abilities that just normal ride goers don't get. So I think that's a fantastic idea. I think Pym's Test Kitchen looks fantastic. If you guys haven't seen The food, I'm a huge foodie. If you guys haven't seen the food that they are serving at Pim's Test Kitchen and just how amazing that whole atmosphere looks, like they have these giant like looking cans of soda hanging from the ceiling leading to their vending machines. Like the whole thing is just an experience. And so I think that is super cool as well. If anything, I'm definitely checking it out for Pim's Test Kitchen for sure. You can count on that. So hopefully we get to go out soon. If so, I will make sure to vlog the entire experience for you guys to be able to check out. So when we do go, you guys can be along for the ride. My girl, Nikki with her $10 holler says, just showing love to Elisa for doing a wonderful job this morning. Her voice is music to my ears this morning. You taking notes, Josh? Side-eye emoji. Love you, girl. Thank you, Nikki. That means a lot. I love you, too. And I can't wait to get to do more of these Friday morning streams. I'm glad my voice is not dead. I was a little concerned. I'm not a morning person. I don't usually get up in the morning until like right before Josh goes on stream. So I'm glad my voice is not sounding dead. Big Stevie W says with a very generous $25 holler, I gots to go. But here's a little simpin' for Elisa, kicking butt and taking names this morning. Yes, love that. Josh, who? Thank you, Stevie. I mean, we still appreciate Josh around here. Don't get me wrong, we do. We still gotta appreciate the Josh and the amazing work that he does, including the 2 p.m. Prime stream that he's putting together for all the Prime members today. So if you're a Prime member, Nerdvenger, you're going to want to check that out. And if you're not, and you're like, dang, I wish I knew more about what happened behind the scenes, what's going on with the business, what we can expect to see for the Nerdvengers in the future, you might want to think about upgrading to that Prime member level. Oh, goodness. Okay, we got... Oh, no. Oh, wait, we do. We got a $5 holla from Mike Haas. Says, Elisa, great job this morning. Glad to see the Lady Mains making their mark on the den. Let's show the love, Nerdvengers and Brokevengers. Thank you, Mike. That means a lot. I am very excited to be getting to do these streams with you guys. So, make no doubt about that. I'm just as happy to be here. All right. She of the Wise spending more of his coffee money. Oh, no. With his $2 holler asking what candles are the best. Well, Sheev, you have just given me permission to completely derail this stream. I'm just kidding, guys. I will say, though, that I really like woodwick burning candles because they sound like a fireplace as they burn, and they're like a slower burn because the woodwicks don't burn like as quickly as the thread ones do. Also, the flames just look cooler, and they usually just sound cooler. So, I mean, I like those. I like cinnamon-scented candles a lot. We got one that's like vanilla and sea salt that I really love. But yeah, I would say that. Also, usually soy candles are the longest lasting, and they're a cleaner burn. So, if you're looking for that, there you go. Let's get this back. Let's get this back on track, though, guys. We're not trying to really create Den of Candles, guys. Oh, no, I skipped a super. Actually, I just don't think I've gotten to it, because I do see it, but I don't think I've gotten to it yet, Mr. Anderson, so be patient. I will get to it, I promise. John Hicks with a very generous $10 holler saying, throw in some support to the Scroll Queen. Thank you, John Hicks. Do you think there's room in the MCU for OP characters like Sentry, Hyperion, or Gladiator? Yes, I do. So, recently I've been reading Dark Avengers, and part of that has been Sentry, and that's been amazing. But also, we've been reading that new run of, now I cannot remember, Heroes Reborn, which features Hyperion. And I gotta say, I like it. It's like Captain America, but to a fault. And I'm loving it. I really like it, and I think it's great. I think it's amazing. So, do I think there's room? Yes, especially with not Captain America gone, but especially with Chris Evans' Captain America gone. I could definitely see Hyperion showing up and being like, what up? I'm the new American hero, and guess what? now Andy Mackie's, Sam Wilson's Captain America has another hero to face, but also understanding that he's not the bad guy. Yo, I think that'd be amazing. I think that'd be fantastic. Also, guys, I don't know how to see the like number, but smash the like button, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to end up talking about candles for the rest of the stream, and nobody wants that. I don't want that. That's boring. There's only so much I can say about candles, so you better like that. You better like this video. Also, I mean, you're going to want to like it to make sure Josh knows that you want to see more of me, and I get to take over, so just saying. Scroll invasion can only be guaranteed by your likes. All right, we got a $2 holler from William Warrington, who says, "You're killing it, champ. Thank you." Mike Porter says, "Thanks, Elisa Scott, for everything you do." Thank you, Mike Porter, for everything you do and everything that everyone watching the stream does. So thank you, guys. Look at this. We have a $20, very generous, $20 holler from the very impatient Mr. Anderson. Just saying. See how I did that? See how we got to your super chat? As promised. Says, "Just because I'm the epitome of responsibility." That is complete lies. Great show, Elisa. Thank you. Thank you for your lies and for your encouragement, Mr. Anderson. "You have not yelled at us, so we like you better than Josh." I mean, that can always be arranged. I saw that in the chat from Daniel G. Just saying. I do watch this chat. Be careful. I will yell if I need to. And that is terrifying. We have a $5 holler from RF Gaming Channel, who says, "Love the change of pace for morning stream, Elisa. I'm calling out Josh for not sending super chats like you do on his streams. Take my money." Oh, dang. He really just called you out for that. I don't even know how to respond to that. But thank you for the support. Thank you for the love, and I appreciate it. I mean, if Josh sent in money though, he's just paying himself. So that just doesn't. It's like all the money, like he's paying and then losing money because of the fees that YouTube takes out. So it's just a little. I don't know why you would I don't know. That's just kind of weird for him to send. I feel like that's so inefficient. But right as I say that, the next $5 holler comes from @TheDenOfNerds, aka Josh, saying, "Talk about the fun new merch. Oh yes, the Loki shirt will only be available while the show is airing." I have an announcement, people. First of all, if you didn't know, I'm gonna just do something real quick. We're just gonna drop a little exclamation merch in the chat because you guys can get some brand new some brand new merch that was designed by the one and only Scroll Queen, me. Now, I'm a little biased. I think this merch is incredible, okay? We got a fun little, logo in blue and yellow, if you're into that blue and yellow vibe. We got a super cool comic book inspired purple drank Nerdvengers logo to support that After Dark crew, and also to enjoy, your purple drink version of that logo. Also, we got a fun little green child Nerdvenger in there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out because it's pretty incredible. And also dropping soon, very soon. I think dropping when we drop the Loki premiere expectations or Loki preview video. We're going to be dropping some Loki merch that's going to be limited edition. You can only get it while the show is airing, and then it will disappear forever. So it's limited edition. You guys can't get it past that time, and it's going to be amazing. I designed it yesterday. It's incredible. I love it. I'm really proud of it, and it's going to be Loki inspired. So you're going to want to watch out for that. You can get this all at our spring shop, I believe. I dropped the link in the chat. So let's see if I can pin this. Oh ho ho ho! I just pinned a message, guys. There you go. If you didn't know how to get to the merch shop, you can find it there. I want to get some merch too. And I will say this, I saw someone ask if you could buy it with Nerdcoin. Right now, no. But we are talking about getting some eventually that could be purchased with Nerdcoin. But as of now, it's not purchasable by Nerdcoin. Also, I see a chat saying, hats or we riot. I'm working on it. I promise, guys. I had, like, the whole spring spring merch site is a little bit crazy. And you have to submit a special request. I have to make some alters to the design so that it is able to be, submitted as a hat design. So, yeah, that's going to have to be, I have to alter the design a little bit. I'm sorry, guys, but it will be there soon. Also, as Josh pointed out in the chat, Nerdvengers have a code for 20% off merch. You can find that in the Nerdvengers only chat in the Discord if you're on the Discord. If you're not, what are you doing with your life? Get on the Discord. How else are you supposed to get hype about everything else we're doing? Also, you can find it in the community tab. There's a fun little graphic to let you know what that code is. It's up for Nerdvengers only. And last question I'm going to answer I'm answering too, but Ray Skymonker asked, did you actually draw the green child? Yes, I did. I actually did draw it. I do design the merchandise as of yesterday or whenever I got put on that. And I did, in fact, draw the little green monster thing that is on there. That is definitely copyright friendly. We got a $5 holler from Chief the Wise saying, screw my coffee. Can't wait for a certain character to show up on the Layer of Nerds. Okay. You know what, Chief the Wise? Guess what I did this morning as I was preparing for the stream? I watched this fun little Vader's Lair video talking about how Sheev expects a certain character who I'm not allowed to mention, but I might anyway. He's expecting a certain character, a certain female character to show up. If you want to know, I'm not telling you. You got to do the work yourself. Go find Vader's Lair on YouTube, watch the video, see who he expects to pop up. And then if she does, laugh, because we're going to get Sheev, I believe, on some of these watch parties for Bad Batch. And if the series starts getting amazing right when we pass it off, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh so hard. According to the Sokovian says, with a $2 holler, would you prefer his girl to be the new Wolverine now? I wouldn't say it's like I prefer it. I just think it makes the most sense to me. I like when things make sense. I think that's I think that's the best way I can answer that honestly. Like, I just like things to make sense. Sorry, guys. I just had to die there for a second. I like things to make sense, and story-wise, it just makes the most sense to me that she'd be the one to take up the Wolverine mantle. We saw Logan. Spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen Logan, cover your ears, but Logan dies in that. And I would just like to see them, stick to what makes sense. But obviously, I mean, that's part of the Fox X-Men universe, I believe. So they have that's not necessarily canon. We could see Hugh Jackman Wolverine show up, and technically it would still make sense, but in my mind, I'll just be a little salty about it. Oh my gosh. Oh, right. Time to yell at you. Time to yell at you all. So if you guys want to know who you have to thank for the rant that is about to come at you, thank Krim, according to the Sokovian. With his $2 holler, managed to slander some amazing franchises and said GOT and Invincible both suck. Give me plus. I'm assuming that means more. Give me more Snyder Cut 2. Oh my gosh, guys, I gotta take some deep breaths in. I'm trying not to rage today. I guys, listen. Listen, okay? There are very few shows and movies and pieces of cinema that I'm able to enjoy. Nikki, feel free. Don't hold back. Do your thing in the chat. Whatever you want to say, okay? Here's the thing, though, okay? Krim, let me just let you in on this little secret. There are very few things I enjoy, okay? Just being honest. I am a writer. I have a very overcritical, over-analyzing brain, okay? I overthink everything, including everything that I've ever watched. And there are very few things that I don't find so predictable that they're just boring. Both of those shows that you just mentioned happen to be the two shows that recently I saw that my brain was able to not overthink, okay? I feel like you've just taken two precious things from me and thrown them in the dirt, Krim. That's how I feel right now. You just took two of the things that I'm actually able to enjoy and not be able to predict every single little detail of the show. And you've just thrown them to the dirt, stomped on them a few times, threw some trash their way. Which is illegal. Littering is illegal, Krim. Pick it up, okay? Pick it up. Treat shows with kindness. Treat people with kindness. I just can't. Yes, William, we are on a guilt trip because, thank you, it's Krim, okay? Thank Krim for this. Thank Krim for the shade that I'm gonna throw on everyone now because he just ruined two of the things that I enjoy and I cannot. Also, Snyder Cut 2. I could be so mean right now. Listen, Krim, let me crush your dreams the way you crushed mine, okay? Snyder, I think he's done working with Warner Bros, okay? Just gonna say it. Warner, I guess technically it's called Discovery Warner Bros. Or Warner Bros. Discovery. I don't even know. They're having this whole merger. They don't have time to make another Snyder Cut movie and to deal with the fans. Especially right now. I mean, maybe in the future. I don't know. I don't want to be too mean to everyone who loves Snyder. I know Josh is watching it. I don't want to get too crazy on you. But Warner Discover Bros. Incorporated. Thank you, Russell. Whatever it is, they don't have time for Snyder right now. And also, I'm going to be honest. I think Zack is kind of just done with them. He's dealt with a lot of trashy moves thrown at him. And I want more for him. Let him make his sci-fi movie that was supposed to be a Star Wars movie that they turned down, okay? Let him work in peace. Let him do his thing. Make some great content, okay? We don't see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. We don't gotta do that, okay? We can be nice. I can respect Snyder Cut fans. Can you respect Invincible fans? Can you expect Game of Thrones fans? That's all I'm saying. Yes, Darth Chaos. Let him do whatever he wants. Let him work on things that bring him pleasure and don't involve studios just taking shots at him all day. Moving on. We got a $5 holler from Atomic Champ saying last time we saw Hulk out was Infinity War when he got beat up. Will we see that in She-Hulk, or do you think full-on Professor Hulk? Take my money. I think that we'll see probably mostly Professor Hulk. What I would love to see, and I said this before, but I'll kind of reiterate, is that I'd love to see Professor Hulk kind of be faced with something that forces him to just kind of come out of his shell and forces him to really take on a real threat, and kind of just be savage again, but also be Professor Hulk. I'd love to see a balancing out of his character, seeing him be able to do both and come to terms with the fact that raging out as Hulk is not bad, and also being smart and being Professor Hulk is not bad. So, I would just like to see him balance out. I think we're mostly going to see Professor Hulk, if I'm being honest, but I would like to see them really make him come out of his shell and be Hulk again. William Warrington, $2 holla, says, Avengers, you must kneel to our Skrull Queen. Thank you, William. Thank you for putting everyone, but especially Krim, in his place. We got another $2 holla. If I read this and this is more slander, I'm going to ban you forever. Just watch out. Krim says, Nerdvenger style, Ushanka, glorious spin for mine. I'm going to be real honest, I have no idea what that means, but given your track record, I'm not sure what to think of it. I'm just being honest. Let me refresh this real quick, guys. At Nerd Multiverse with his $2 holla says, do you think Omega will be in Book of Boba? I think it will depend on what they do with their character by the end of the show. If I'm being real honest, I haven't really been keeping up with Bad Batch that much, so I feel like I'm not the best person to answer this. But, I mean, I think it's possible. I just don't know. I mean, we got mention of, did they mention Boba in the series? If they've mentioned Boba, I would say definitely there's a chance, but I just don't know. It depends on where they take her character by the end of the show. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she won't even make it past the show. We don't know. Omega. Yeah. I just know the memes. I'm sorry. At Shiloh Lorianti says, just bought the blue and yellow hoodie and sticker. Yes, there are stickers available for all the designs in there, I believe. But yeah, that hoodie is pretty sick. Pretty sick. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your purchase and your support in the merch as well. Krim with his $5 apology. Says, I respectfully apologize and take a knee before the Iron Queen. Thank you. Forgive me, my liege. I have pledged my sword to the Iron Tower and must bend to. Well, I'm glad you recognize your place. Nothing brings me more joy, Krim, to be able to show you that I am right. Let's get into the chat. I'm pretty sure that's the last super we have. But yes, there are stickers. Bob Pulowski. Feel free to get some stickers. Moss, you didn't know? There are stickers. Yes, there are stickers. I mean, Justin Simone asks, why not Elisa the Bad Batch is the best ever? LOL, JK. Okay, number one. Why I haven't been keeping up is I like to do things in order. I like for things to make sense, as I said before. So I'm waiting to get through everything else before I get to the Bad Batch. Like, I want to watch Clone Wars and watch the stuff that I need for the Bad Batch to really make sense to me before I go through Bad Batch. And based on Josh's reactions and others' reactions kind of being like, this is kind of meh. I don't want to, I love sleep too much. I don't want to have to give up sleep to be able to enjoy a show. Jedi Mike asks if we got those pups. Not yet, but we should be getting them soon. I'm super excited. We're gonna have 2 little Shiba Inus running around this house, making noise, being rambunctious while we're trying to work, and it's gonna be great. Where are you? Have you started Clone Wars? What about Rebels? Not yet. If I told you where I'm at in the series, y'all, I would be embarrassed. I'm pretty sure, I don't even know if I finished the original trilogy or if I still have to watch the last one. I don't even know. They all blended together. Actually, I think we did finish it. We had to have finished it. We definitely finished it. What am I talking about? I'm sure I finished it, right? And then I need to get, I need to watch Rogue One, I think. And maybe the sequel trilogy. We'll see. We'll see. OMG, you're getting Shibas? Yes, we are. I've been looking at 2 specific little pups that we're hopefully going to be able to go pick up in time. I love sleep too. More of Elisa's viewpoints, please. Yes, sleep is fantastic. Do some taste tests on your channel. There will be more of that soon. I'm really glad you guys loved the first one, and there will be more soon. Alright, I'm going to be on this stream for like 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to say goodbye. And then I'm going to... Maybe we'll have a stinger. I don't know. The order you're watching it in is questionable, though. Okay. You know what, Krim? Banned forever. Someone ban him. Or time him out. I don't know. Just kidding. Don't ban Krim. That was a joke. I mean, I like to watch things in... chronological order. That's the word I'm looking for. I like to watch things in chronological order, guys. Girl, get on that ish. Star Wars forever. Can I be real honest with you guys? You want to see... I'm sorry, I missed the first part of your chat. It probably makes your thing make so much more sense, and it won't be as rude. You're okay, Lisa. Do it at your own pace. You will love it more that way. Yes. Okay. I guess you were nice. Okay, I take it back. Nobody banned him. I guess we can forgive him for that one. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I just never got into Star Wars for the longest time, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that, like, from my point of view, the fandom just was kind of a mess, and when I first started trying to get into it was when sequel trilogies started coming out. So everything just seemed like it was in chaos and division, and I was just like, I don't really want to be a part of that. So I got into Marvel instead, which, I mean, I love Marvel. I'm really grateful to have gotten on Marvel because I just didn't care too much for Star Wars at first. But now I'm kind of getting into it and starting to enjoy it. Mandalorian actually is what originally made me be like, all right, okay, I guess I'll give myself a second. I'll give Star Wars a second chance, okay? So Mandalorian I actually watched as Josh was doing the Mandalorian streams and watch parties for season 2, I believe, is when I started getting on it. And then eventually I was like, all right, okay, this is actually pretty epic. We'll give it a chance. Someone said, that's fair. Don't let the toxicity deter you. It's amazing. Yeah. For sure. And a lot of that I've come to realize is actually because the studios doesn't know what they're doing. Kathy. Just saying. Nobody cancel me for that, okay? Just saying. I can only speak my truth. I do chronological order too. It's the best. It's best that way. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And also, I will say, because I watched the prequel trilogy first, and that, I was like, okay, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. And so then going into the original trilogy, it was kind of fun to be like, oh, they wouldn't know this. So for them, like, they didn't know Yoda they didn't know that little green, crazy creature in the swamp was Yoda, this great Jedi Master. It was just this kind of surprise, and kind of seeing these surprises was fun to like be able to look at it with that perspective of this was the first thing that the OG Star Wars fans saw, and it was just kind of fun to see like, oh, they didn't know this yet, and they would be able to know this part of Anakin Skywalker's story and this part of what happened to Luke and all the Clone Wars and stuff like that. Justin Simone says, the first 6 Star Wars movies are the complete character arc of Anakin Skywalker. I would have to agree. The last 3 Star Wars movies are an arc of... I see you throwing shade over there. I see that. I can get behind that. I'm not there yet. So we'll see. Baby Yoda's escape pod says, who do you think will actually be the new leader of the Avengers? Black Knight, Captain Marvel, Hercules. I don't think Captain Marvel, at least not Carol Danvers' Captain Marvel, because as we saw in Endgame, she's otherwise involved in a ton of different universes and saving a lot of different planets and universes besides Earth. So I just think she's not involved enough with like Earth 616 to really, take over the Avengers completely. Black Knight, I don't know yet. I'm still pretty much an Eternals normie, like a baby normie for Eternals, so I don't know too much about the character yet. I'll look into it, let you know later, but maybe, but I don't know. And then also Hercules, I think could be really fun, really cool. But I don't know if he'd take over the Avengers. I think if anyone, I'd like to see someone like Hyperion come in and kind of cause some trouble. Someone like Norman Osborn come in and cause some trouble, try to take over the Avengers. But I do think Sam Wilson is a good candidate, and I also think we could see someone like Bruce Banner kind of take on this more mentor, kind of like what Tony did, how he was technically like a consultant for the Avengers. Take on more of a role like that where he's kind of leading in the background, working things out, being a science nerd, and all that stuff. Figuring things out that way. Also, okay, I don't know why I just thought of this, why it took so long to get here, but Doctor Strange, I could see that too. I could totally see Doctor Strange being like, all right, Avengers, let me show you what's up. But I just don't know if he's willing to take on that role, given the fact that he's, like, in charge of protecting their universe. So we'll see. Alright, guys, I'm going to head on out. I'm going to say goodbye for now. I know. Sad times, right? But it has to be done. As always, I hope you have an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Also, we're going to do, before everyone leaves, we're going to do the stinger a little early because I don't know how to turn on the music. Just saying. But, I just want you guys to know that the Skrull invasion is underway, okay? Don't lose hope. The Skrull invasion it's underway. It's happening. That's all I gotta say.